The White House has announced another round of military assistance for Ukraine. In Brussels today, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said the U.S. will send $1 billion more in assistance. The package will include key weapons that the Ukrainian military has asked for. CBS News national security correspondent David Martin joins me now. David, walk us through what you know so far about this new round of assistance.
Well, the $1 billion really breaks down into two categories. One category is equipment that will come from existing U.S. military stocks, can be put on a plane right away and sent toward Ukraine. The other is new equipment that is being bought for Ukraine by the U.S., but that has to first come off an assembly line somewhere here in the United States before it can be shipped. So that's going to take weeks, if not months, to reach Ukraine. In that first category, the $350 billion taken out of existing stocks, that's mainly long-range artillery systems and the ammunition to go with them. You'll recall that on, I think it was June 1st, the President authorized the U.S. to send this new multiple launch rocket system called HIMARS, which is capable of shooting with precision guided munitions out to 40 miles. This would be really a new capability for the Ukrainians. The first class of Ukrainian soldiers learning how to use that HIMARS system graduated today, and in this package of $350 million, there was money for 100 of these precision-guided rockets that will be fired by that system. The other package, the $650 million that the U.S. is going to buy from U.S. defense contractors for Ukraine, includes less glamorous items. It includes two launchers for anti-ship missiles. The actual missiles will be provided by Denmark, and then thousands of radios and night vision devices, which obviously are not real firepower, but are part of the nitty-gritty of having a real workable military force.
Nitty-gritty matters on the ground, for sure. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, as you well know, David, urged NATO allies to increase their own military aid. He did so in Brussels today. Let's take a listen.
We're here today because of our unwavering determination to get Ukraine the capabilities that it urgently needs to defend itself. And I'm personally grateful for the significant security assistance that this contact group has provided thus far. But we can't afford to let up, and we can't lose steam. The stakes are too high.
For those who might not know, NATO headquarters in Brussels. That's why the Defense Secretary and others were there. David, what does the Pentagon want NATO allies to bring more to the table?
Well, NATO uses many of the same weapon systems that the U.S. military wants. So what the Pentagon really is asking of NATO is to double down on what the U.S. is sending. So, for instance, the U.S. has sent or promised to send Ukraine 126 of these 155 millimeter howitzers. Well, the Brits use the same howitzer and the same ammunition. The Canadians use the same howitzer, the same ammunition. So it's a combination to create the numbers that Ukraine needs to go up against the superior numbers that Russia has. So the U.S. has provided Ukraine with 126 of these howitzers. But General Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said today that if you add in all of the howitzers contributed by all of the NATO countries, it comes to somewhere between 300 and 400 artillery pieces. So having all these other countries chip in really enables the U.S. to try and match Russia in the numbers game.
And of course, the Pentagon is watching the day-to-day battle space quite closely, David. The battle in Ukraine continues, the war ravages continue, but it has slipped somewhat from the top of the headlines here in the United States. What can you tell the audience about the state of play in this ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the rate at which Ukrainian soldiers and civilians are dying?
Well, General Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs I mentioned just a moment ago, compared it today to World War I. Vast expenditures of ammunition, large numbers of casualties, very little change in the front line. And that is what is happening now, mainly in the east of Ukraine, the area called the Donbass, where the Russians are just using this grind-them-out offensive tactic of using artillery just to level everything in front of them, and then they move in and occupy that position, but at great cost. Now, Ukrainian officials have said the Ukrainians are losing 100 killed in action a day. Those are military personnel. The battlefield rule of thumb is for every one soldier killed, 3 more are wounded. So those are very significant casualties. But the Russians are taking even greater casualties. Now, the Russians have much greater manpower resources than Ukraine, and they have many more artillery pieces than Ukraine. So on paper, you would say that, sure, Russia wins the battle of attrition, but wars aren't fought on paper, they're fought on the battlefield, and that's where the morale of the Ukrainian military comes into play. They're fighting for their very existence, and they are simply just fighting harder than the Russians.
David Martin, we thank you so much.
Sure.